that some of our newspapers captured, and that would be on the autonomy battle when it comes to local government autonomy. Are they truly, or do they truly have a true autonomy? That have been the issue, and every good student of government will understand where we look at things that has to do with true federalism and a whole lot. But thank God for the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who fought it heads on to win the case down to the Supreme Court that allows for financial autonomy in a way whereby money is not or goes directly to the account of the local government from the revenue pool account of the federal government. This is a whole lot of issue, and because there have been a whole lot of financial misappropriation, state government holding the funds that ought to be used for development of local government acting, chairmen acting as puppets. In all of this, we were trusting that an end will come. But this is Nigeria, and we tend to wonder why we are at this point in our development. We ought to have passed, but yet we have these stories to bring to you, and we have you there to help us analyze and to draw a good analysis of the issue. On this note, I want to say, viewers, remember you can call in. You can also send your comments via our various social media platforms, and we would do well to take them in the course of the show. And I still have with me the Venerable Joseph Unuayan JP, who is the Director of Civic and Political Affairs and also the Chaplain of the National Assembly. All right, Venerable, we are diving now into newspaper review and discussion segments here, and we target the battle for autonomy. And this is a very important national discourse that a whole lot of us have looked at several times. Right, even back then in school, we have said that we only have two arms of government. I've seen myself in an exam hall defending that fact, that truly, if we don't have two arms of government, say the state and the federal, why then is the local government not truly does not truly have an financial autonomy? Because for everything to run, everything boils down to finance. And yeah, the likes of the president have won the case, but we still have issue as regards to control. Most of the states are still defying these court orders as regards to allocation given to the tune of 10 trillion local government allocation. What is your take on this?
Well, I think at the beginning, somebody said, why are they still not implementing that? I want to say because money is involved.
Okay.
Because people are interested, especially the government. But really, it is not fair. We have 3 tiers of government, which more or less independently to a very large extent. And after all the battles for years, the court ruled that there should be autonomy, or the autonomy of the local government should be upheld according to the constitution of the land. So I don't see any reason why a reasonable governor should not implement that simple court judgment. You also know that in Nigeria, over the years, many people don't have regard for in regard for the judgment that comes out of our courts. So, 2 things: the courts need to redeem their image so as to restore their dignity and make people to honor them more. That is number 1. Then number 2, the citizens are too docile in this country. I don't see why in such a state why the citizens cannot take the state government to court. I think they should take them to court And that again comes back to the justice system that needs serious reform. If you throw this back to the citizens of that particular state or any of the states that in which this autonomy something have not been implemented, they will tell you they find it difficult to go to court because in a justice system you only know when to start, you don't know. You can take that matter to court, and in the next 6 to 10 years, you are just wasting your resources. And this is a matter that is so direct, so plain, that does not require any form of technicalities, that should be dispensed of within 3 months, and the country moves forward. But when it comes to our judicial system, the delay involved and the attendant waste of resources is something else that is discouraging people from wanting to go to court to seek redress in any form. They say justice delayed is justice denied. So, but the right thing to do would have been for citizens of that state to take the state government to court. And if they do, they will win.
All right. Thank you so much, Venerable, for the parts you've taken in this matter. But for me, as a concerned citizen of Nigeria, I have always wondered as regards the cost of governance. Now, does it now mean that the actual amount or resources allocated to our states, I'm not now talking about the local government now, just the state alone, there's always this phobia for it is not enough for the state government, and this is why they have always put their eye on the boat, believing that the local government is basically under the state control. Is there no stronger measures that you think, in your opinion, could be put in place, not just to checkmate this, but to ensure that these 3 tiers of government, these three tiers of government, the state, the federal, and the local, just as every Nigerian citizen have come to know that the president has his own power at the federal level, the state governors have their power at the state level, and the local government is a government of its own. How can we come to that reality, or to this understanding of clearly creating this boundary? Because we first need to create the boundary. The leaders first need to understand before even resource control begins to happen. I don't know your take on this.
The boundaries have been spelled out by the Constitution.
Okay.
I think our problem is greed and corruption. Greed and corruption. We were talking about money not enough. I'm not here to praise any politician, but what is happening in FCT about infrastructural development is an eye opener. I never knew FCT had money to tie road or to do anything all along. Look at the past administration before that of the present man. For good 8 years, you cannot see a single road completed. You cannot see a single project finished. But you and I know whether we like the face of the minister or not, whether he talks too much or not, and whether he abuses people or not, as people allege. But those of us in FCT know that something is happening on ground. All the suburbs, the whole FCT is being opened up, road construction is going on by the day, other projects are being developed. Now, so where did the money suddenly come? So the question now is that, so FCT have this kind of money, and for 8 years, there was no development at all. So that explains what is happening in the state. Who says states don't have money? They have money. The money they have is enough. It's just that most of our governors, and in fact, most of our politicians in general, are just prodigal in their behavior. They squander the resources of this country. They don't have a culture of savings. They don't manage what they have. They just keep squandering the God-given resources of the country, wasting it, taking our money, hiding it in abroad and wherever it can be hidden. That is what is. It's not that there's no enough money. There's no state really that doesn't have enough money to run in Nigeria. It's just that the prodigal attitude and the disposition of those in the corridor of power has made it look as if the money we have or the resources we have is not enough. There are enough resources and there's a lot of money in this country. Now, you see, I don't understand. It's like if there's a subvention from the diocese to the churches and they say the archdeacon will give you 10 million, the vicar in the parish level will give you 5 million. Why should the archdeacon take that of the vicar and add it to his own? The law, the constitution have allocated 5 million to me. They allocated 10 million to you. Instead to manage your own, allow me manage my own. Then you take your own, you hold on to my 5 million, and you are giving 1.2 million to me. And you see, for me, sorry, I don't know whether the word is accepted on air. It's madness. Dr. Sarah Jubril, we call it poverty of the mind. It's poverty of the mind of our leaders. We need to really work. It's not because Constitution have not spelled out the boundaries. The boundaries are very clear. And also, that takes us to the way of point of entry into these offices. The governors are not just taking the allocation, they also make sure it is the person they want that becomes the local government, so that they can control them as their house head or house boys or stooge. So that is what is going on. It's corruption and it's greed. It's greed.
All right.